All right, it says we are live. And so far it's Susie and Rick, Aquagardenzen, and myself, but we're expecting Whip and we're expecting Skipper too. So
Mm.
we're going to go ahead and get started. And so for those of you that you don't know Rick, it's Rick Font, and his channel is Aquagardenzen, and he's been around a while. He's fairly well established on YouTube. And he also has, I think you have a channel on, because you can.
Yeah, I gave it a shot. I didn't see myself doing a channel on just plants.
Oh, that's right. That's what it
That's
was.
what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zen Plant Man or something. I was like,
Yes.
one
You,
channel's already tough enough for me.
you and Susie are cut from the same cloth, I think. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, he's gonna. I'm not going to say hello to everybody, just a blanket hello. So hello, hello, and welcome, and thanks for coming in. And this will definitely be a good stream. And I'm kind of just going to turn it over to him. We'll be here, of course, but we'll ask questions. And can we interrupt you with questions from the chat, or do you want us to
Oh
hold?
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I'll bring
I
you
don't
up.
mind stopping.
He said he's got some lights that are going off soon, so I wanted to let him get
Oh
going.
yeah, this one. The reef tank, the old reef tank. Should I just take my camera off of here?
It's up to
That way I
you.
can actually show you guys. And I'll probably flip the camera around.
While he's doing that, I forgot to mention he and his wife are from Washington State, or that's where they are. They're from Florida, and they're very interesting. They have very interesting hobbies. So,
Wow, look at how beautiful.
Um, just sitting back. Oh, oh goodness. There we go.
oops.
I got I got a lens somewhere around here. There it is. That might make it a little easier to see. This tank has changed so much since I started it. I should just use the glasses to be honest. This thing's such a pain in the butt. Is it around there? Yeah. Perfect handle.
Hey,
That
Whip.
works. There you go.
Hello.
It like goes backwards when I go the other way.
Well,
Yeah,
is
so this
that,
one I just had to bring this one back to life.
is that a torch?
This is a frog spawn.
Frog spawn. I always miss
Yeah.
that one.
I don't know why it does that. There we go. That's my chalk bass. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna take this off. Hope you guys don't mind just all the colors come in better with this. Those are some hammers there. I don't have any torches. Um I gave my only torch away because it was wreaking havoc. It was growing too much, too fast, and touching everything. That big old slug right there in the middle. See if I can get close to it without it. That is your sea hare.
Oh wow.
That thing's huge. It's a good maybe 5 or 6 inches in length, and then it's just fat. All it does is graze on algae all day long. Keeps the rocks pretty clean of algae.
It doesn't
Chalk
bother the
bass
coral
there.
though.
No, he doesn't. He's actually a good little creature to have. My little mini tank.
Huawei said he bets you don't have a room full of roly polies.
Oh yeah, of course. There's still quite a bit of those. I stopped selling them and I keep them as more pets than anything. That's a little wrasse back there. So that wrasse right there, that pinstripe disappearing wrasse, actually chased my other wrasse out the top of the screen top here, out of a corner I couldn't really cover that well. It was that yellow canary wrasse that I had.
Oh man.
So yeah, he's a brat. They're in the same family as the 6-line wrasse. Call them harasses. My little rack of random zoas and pallies and corals that have been kind of not doing all that great. a little algae back there. That's my makeshift little PNW super glued to um, the algae clip just to use it. He's been so that rat is chasing this guy around. He's This guy is so old. He's been handed to me from somebody else after he was handed to them by somebody else. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I've definitely lost a lot of corals, and I've definitely brought some back.
What
Let's see
size
from the
tank is
side
that?
here. This is only a 40 breeder Aquagon.
Okay.
It's sorry if you're picking up fan noise. There's a big old Monty over here. He's some little random utter chaos and some other types. This one's about to come off of its plug there. They do that. They break loose and they end up somewhere else in your tank. Some random mushrooms, random zoas, hammers. This thing, this is some type of plate coral, and what it might do, it might die. It's starting to look pretty rough. That's some random bubble algae floating around in there. It might die, and once these die, they actually produce babies if you tuck it away in like a cave or something back in the rockwork. It'll actually produce babies out of the skeleton. So it kind of resurrects. There's that slug again.
What's the
It is
green
a
on
very
the
weird
right?
planet tank. This thing,
The bright green. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
thing is some weird named coral that I found that only a couple people that I've known has them. They're some kind of Petco coral that nobody else seems to want. And I picked it up, and I've only seen like maybe two people have them. It was one of those oddball. I like oddball corals, like all the weird things. This thing's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, no, this thing's pretty cool. It's kind of like it's an LPS, so it's kind of like your acantho or not acantho, but Plankophobia, kind of like yes, it'll pick up its move,
Does it sting?
but it's chunky. I would imagine so if it got close enough to something.
Yeah.
It's a meaty coral. Here's some random mushrooms that I pick up from other hobbyists. Lots of
They're
trades and
gorgeous.
stuff. Or just this little mushroom garden, different colors. Those hammers, they have multiple heads on them. That bubble algae is driving up. It's like lots of little amphipods. There's some brittle stuff, like big old brittle sea stars, like serpent stars. I got different ones in there. And then over here, big old green. There you go. Weather,
You're
really
glitching.
nice Yuma there.
There we go.
Random Silas. This is a little like, am I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a little like clam with a Gorgonian. Not a clam, but yeah, I think it's some kind of scallop. Could have any coral plant, isopod, fish, or whatever for Xmas. What would you want, and what would be the most prepared for? Um, to be honest, I don't really want anything else until I move. I'm supposed to be moving here soon. This is going to be a fun move because I have all these things.
Where are you
We're
moving
supposed to
to?
move next year, the beginning. Just basically on the other side of town, in a house versus an apartment. Apartment living's no fun with fish because you can't keep up to a certain amount of tanks or size. So limited on weight. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's some acros and sticks up there. So this Monty, that's driving us. This Monty right here,
Yeah.
There we go. This Monty is starting to cook that acro there. You can see it's starting to turn into a skeleton underneath it.
Yeah.
But I have an extra duplicate of that acro up top there. And you can actually see that that cabbage leather there is originally from Ian. That
Oh,
little
okay.
rough looking one that's going in the shed. So it's partially in the shed. That's what that slothing is coming off of it.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got a couple mandarins in here. Oh, that that little fish in the shell is a flametail blenny, also known as a fang blenny. They have a nasty bee sting of a bite,
Ouch.
but he hangs out in his shell.
Boo!
And there's one of the mandarin dragonets up underneath there. Let's see if this will pick up. Oh, there he is. That's the male. There's a female in here too. But yeah, that's the reef tank. Actually got quite a few little skimmers down here that I've tried out. Remora skimmers. I do the hang on back skimmer. This one's been my favorite so far. This thing pulls out a lot. This has pulled out this much within the last like 4 days.
Oh, wow.
And it's a reef octopus, the old classic hang on back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I do with this is I keep a trash bin under it in case it decides to overflow. And this also has all my stuff that I use randomly. And I have just an Aqueon or Aquaclear hang on back. Just a filter running GFO whenever it needs. Because this time of year, all our windows and doors are closed up. We end up with, just a lower, I think it's a lower pH. Then you end up with the cyanobacteria. The only thing I wish I would have done different with this tank is my wiring. This cord is
Is
too
what?
short to bring my wiring. This
Oh, okay.
cord is too short to bring it all the way up here. I want it up here above the tank. I don't like having cords down there. And then that's
Isn't it crazy how many cords you have with a saltwater tank?
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah, because you have
My
the
saltwater
heater, the
tank is
invert.
crazy with cords.
This is for the
Yep.
light itself. It's this is one of those like oddball lighting. It's a Refi Duo. It's a experimental light at one point, and now the guy is starting to put out more of these. I always told myself I'm not buying an expensive light, but this one right here was given to me. If I could, I would buy another one of these because it's got 2 pucks under it, and it puts out amazing light. Flows do really amazing under it, and it's got so much adjustment. But the only problem I don't understand about it doesn't hook up to the Wi-Fi. So I use this phone separately. So it's this phone separately for the app. It actually hooks up to the Wi-Fi of my phone.
Wow.
And then I've been getting into the tarantulas.
Ooh,
This is
spiders.
This is Churro. She's Mexican painted red legs, Brachypelma amelia, which could live up to about maybe 30 to 40 years. These are all different tarantulas up here. A lot of them were in hiding. This one's kind of out. The GBB, green bottle blue, that's a shed that it made. Then I have some bird eaters back here. These guys get really, really big, like dinner plate size as far as leg span goes.
So we
Then I
could
got
deep
my
fry 'em?
Yeah, right. Gosh, maybe this guy. This guy
Oh,
can be deep fried.
what is
So
that?
what do you feed them?
The tarantulas.
The bird eaters, yeah.
Oh, I feed them dubious. So I have two bins, two cultured bins over here.
Okay.
Um, they eat carrots, and I just replace the egg crate every once in a while. But I've got different stages in between the bins. There's beetles in there for the beetles are also in there with the roaches, and their larvae are another food source for the babies for the really small tarantulas, and for my fish every once in a while. Of course, probably if nobody likes roaches, I wouldn't look right now. These are my roach bins. They do pretty decent. They're all over the carrots right now. These are actually one of the easiest feeders to actually keep, and
I
they're
agree.
I would say the cleanest. They smell weird after a while. You just change the egg crate out, but you want to keep as much of the frass or droppings and exoskeletons on the bottom for the babies to eat and for the beetles to stay alive, because that's what they eat. It keeps everything kind of a kind of like a cycle, kind of like you have in your fish tanks. And then I put this stuff in there.
That's good stuff.
So yeah, I get this. It goes a long ways. You don't have to use it all at once.
Just a dusting.
Yeah, yeah. Just it's just for them. It's just their calcium source, and just so they can grow good exoskeleton. This
When my
tank has
wife
gone.
when my
Go ahead.
wife had frogs, we got that stuff for the crickets.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The Flukers is a good brand. I recommend it. This tank has gone through a lot of change. Of course, remember I had all these freshwater tanks at one point. This one's been going through a bit of a what I think is a bacterial thing. All this brown, like almost dusty.
Yeah.
What would you say that is? It's basically it comes off by just blowing on it with a baster or something, and it's running by a canister filter, which is down here, an old canister filter. But all my nubias got covered by it. I've lost some of my plants that weren't getting light.
I like that
Not
tank.
really. Yeah, this is a 60 breeder. I made my own screen tops.
Nice.
Just got a couple Nicrew lights on top. But the 60 breeder is a great one. This is actually a stand that my friend built for me. I just left it. I didn't paint it or anything. Um, I went from having shrimp to nanofish to what happened was I got this guy.
Oh,
And if you keep endlers and you put that guy in there, you're not gonna have any more endlers or anything smaller.
I have one of
So yeah,
those. They're
yeah,
awesome.
they are so cool. So I had to find some fish that would actually go with him that wouldn't, they would do great. And I went with the Congo Tetris, or it's Congo,
Mine,
right?
mine. I have them with angelfish and some bigger catfish.
Got a couple of these rams here, the Bolivian rams. They've been together since they were born. They were from a buddy of mine's tank. He bred them.
Oh,
And
nice.
then some rainbows. These are some of those Irian reds. They are a kind of a oddball Petco rainbow.
They are, but they're gorgeous when they
yeah,
mature.
they are.
Oh yes, and they get really round, really like almost Yeah, they're just a strange shape. That little head that kind of tapers off in the front,
Yeah.
and the couple of the or one of the females, I think, have like a weird, like almost like a lime color streak to the front of the head. So yeah, they're beautiful fish. There's a couple random corridors that have survived from the years of me keeping them. Just random coolie loaches everywhere. They're all hiding somewhere. There's a couple catfish in here. Stone cat. There's a Raphael, the bigger
Yeah.
one with
He's in that
And
tunnel.
what
the
size
anchor.
tank is this? A 75?
This is a 60 breeder. I like the lower
Okay.
profile because it's easier to light.
Yeah.
And it keeps everybody basically in one section. I mean, I want to do 75 eventually whenever I move. I just don't want to get too big of a tank on a
I
second floor
like the
apartment.
60. I like it because the
Yeah.
light's going to reach all the way to the bottom, no matter what.
Little albino corridora, hoplo catfish.
I
These
have a
guys
couple
have
of albino hoplo catfish. Where did you get yours?
Petco. I get a lot of my fish from Petco or maybe local breeders that had them. Like those corridor that it's Aldafoy or something. Those I had a whole school of them and ended up losing them to some weird bacteria that I introduced from a fish. I lost a lot of fish during that time, and it kind of made me almost quit the hobby.
Oh,
I'm glad I didn't though. There's been multiple times where I'm like, man, this is tough. I hate losing anything. This is an adoption. He's that corridor back there. He's all crooked, lumpy.
Oh, he's cute.
It's yeah, they're my favorite. I love them when they're like that because they're not breeding catfish, and I don't plan on breeding any. I don't want to breed any fish anymore. I just want them as pets, and I want to give them a good home. I used to breed a lot of shrimp and some of the antlers, but that right there it feels like more work than enjoyment for me. I like the enjoyment of keeping fish and
I
watching
gotta
them
say,
grow
those
and live.
kind of tetras look spectacular in that tank.
Their colors are so amazing.
They really
Wow.
are.
They have a great feeding response too. I wanted something that had a great feeding response because I only had a few fish in here at one point, and I'm like, I need some more life in this tank.
What do you
Which
feed
can't.
that tank? I'm sorry.
I do cubes. I do a lot of the frozen foods.
Oh,
I do a variety of frozen foods, and then I get stuff like this. I just pinch it with my finger and crush it up. They go crazy for that. I just have over the years I've accumulated so many different fish foods, and it's a fish room collector of all things. You have different spirulina when I was doing my cultured Fido. I stopped doing my own Fido. I just get it from a friend of mine.
oh, can I ask you a question about food? It's an opinion,
Yeah.
but you would certainly have one. Once food has been open a period of time, do you throw it away, or do you use it
If
up? Or
once it hits its period of its date, I usually try to use up whatever's left in a quicker hurry or whatever, or I'll blend it up into my isopod food and put it in my isopod food.
oh, that's a good.
They
use.
don't really they don't really discriminate against food. They eat decaying objects anyway, so it's
All right.
then I've got my fishing poles in here. I had to move all my plants in here. Because we adopted a cat,
Oh,
and she took a liking to, of all plants, she took a liking to, which one was it? The one that's the most toxic. This one. That's her actual teeth mark on there.
Oh my goodness.
She was sick as a dog. I took her to the vet. They just did whatever they did, and she got better. But it was unnerving. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm hiding all my plants in my room. So all the plants are in here. They're no longer out there. Um, some of my art that I've done, dinosaur thing that I like. I found that at thrift store. I think it's about 6 feet long.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my drawers of junk, what I call it. Random old light bulbs that you will never see again, probably.
I got some of them.
Yeah, these are all brand new in the box. I never got around to using them. Just have to find a new fixture for them. But the problem is they go bad after about 6 months. They don't put out the same amount of light.
Well, they don't get us demonetized, please.
Oh gosh. So, and here, this is my, oh gosh, my book collection. I turned you sideways so you don't have to. My book collection, my little fold-up Daewoo bike. I've got quite the collection of different fish books and plants and insects and ocean life. These are all those magazines throughout the year, the hobbyist magazines, National Geographic, Coral magazines, reptile magazines. These are all reptile magazines from like, I'd say like early 2000s, 90s. So I've been studying a lot of this stuff for years, and I just haven't been able to keep them. I grew up around them, like cat's cat litter box. This is one of the crested gecko enclosures. I just won one just recently on Supreme Gecko's live stream.
Nice.
It's gonna be more of a redder morph of crested gecko.
How
And
do you keep the Adansonii alive? Mine,
this
I
thing,
cannot seem to get enough water.
I just spray this thing once a day. Once it drops down to that, right now it's kind of warm in here. My neighbor's been keeping the heat up. That's another reason why I can't wait to move. It's 80 degrees. It's right at that mark where you don't want to be, but it's at 45% humidity.
Okay,
So this is whenever I would spray it at nighttime before I go to bed, get that humidity up, kind of like a night rain.
that's beautiful.
There's this is BioDude substrate. This is an old substrate too. I haven't had to change it. There's still isopods, springtails in there. These are 3D printed by a friend of mine. I don't think he does them anymore.
Are they stickers or magnets?
They're magnets.
Yeah, it's hard to find the magnets anymore because
Yeah.
sometimes they're so strong they crack the glass.
Oh yeah. And this is my second crested gecko. That's Wreck-It Ralph up here is what I call him, because he attacks me every time I even go by the glass. He's PetSmart. He was a discount. I was like, you know what? I've never had my own crested gecko. I'm gonna get a crested gecko. This guy's been with me, but he is vicious. I don't know what his issue is, but he grabs a hold of me every time I even put my hand in that tank, and he draws blood. He's thrashes around once he gets a hold of me. This one, they're probably both sleeping right now. This one's full of plants. I find that the LEDs from the fish tanks, these strip lights work better on these enclosures than the old fluorescent bulb for growing plants. This this plant's been here for years, and it just keeps growing. It's like squeezing up at the top here, and there's plants all throughout here, babies. It's mostly bioactive,
It's nice.
and I have one of these little Home Depot things. I just kind of rigged it up.
Yeah.
He'll jump on there. It'll fall sometimes, but I put it back up. It's hard to keep this glass clean, I can tell you that. And another thing I got to make sure I do when I close these is I have to make sure these plants do not get out, because it is an epiprenum. This is the epiprenum amplissumum, and that's one of the more toxic of the philodendron.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, they're highly toxic. So I keep all the leaves in there so she doesn't get a hold of those. She'd probably get really sick. This was my first 10-gallon tank. This was my experimental, like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try coral. I'm gonna try saltwater. And just a simple reef night crew light, $60, Seachem title, custom made screen tops that I do. And then I put some of this back here to fill in the spaces. It's just the light diffuser. I just cut it to size. And a pump, surface skimmer, and there's some rock flowers. I got these from Ian. Got this from a friend of mine. It's some type of purple pavona. Lots of this pulsing zinnia. This will take over your tank, but it's cool. I actually got this from Ian originally. And some mushrooms. There are some flatworms in here, but they don't really bother anything. And my little 6-line wrasse that I keep. The only fish that's in here is a 6-line wrasse. And a pom-pom crab somewhere. And little brittle starfish and little snails, asterina stars, just random, cleanup crew. This is a branching GSP, green star polyp. And yeah, just some random mojanos everywhere. Those are mojanos. Those would be considered a pest, but I like them. They're anemones. This tank I absolutely just love. This is what got me started in saltwater. And I know I don't want to go back. I just, if I can, I'll go bigger.
I just
This
got out of
was,
saltwater too a couple of months ago.
it is expensive and it is a lot of work. But if you can find a way like I did, where you can make it cheaper for yourself, which is still even more expensive than I want it to be.
Right.
These are all my wife's books. She has 3 bookshelves like this. If she could, she'd have a library. But I'm the same way. This was a little 20 long terrarium that I put together. I put a glass top. I took a fish tank that cracked from somebody else, that their tank cracked. I said, let me get the glass panels. So I put them to use by putting them on top of this
Oh.
tank
Mm-hmm.
to keep the humidity in. I could put dart frogs in here, but my wife has a phobia of frogs. So this is
A
just plants.
phobia
And
of frogs?
yes,
I
I
never
want
heard of
frogs.
it.
I want frogs and I need frogs in my life. This is Mona.
Aw.
Oh, is
She
she
is
a rag doll?
a snowshoe.
Snowshoe.
So same type of cat as Nirvana Aquatics, but she is just the sweetest thing. Somebody declawed her. She was found outside my friend's door, skin and bones, just lost so much weight. And she she's not fixed, and she's declawed, didn't have a chip. So whoever had her did not really, they just wanted her to stop clawing their couch or stuff. But I don't think they cared about her because she looked rough.
And then they moved and left her.
Yep, and now she's a chunky butt.
She
She's a
looks
great cat. She was real
very.
skittish. She was real skittish when I first
Oh,
got her.
I can tell
She
she's
loves.
there. That's
Oh,
right.
she loves. Yeah, and she's a shedder, big time. So we take her to the groomers once a month. We try to do once a month. They said you can go 2 months, but we just had to reschedule because I've been working 6-day weeks,
Used to people
holidays.
wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take their cat and they would say it's cruel, it's mean. Well, it's not. They get used to it and it keeps them in a great home, you know.
Oh yeah. So actually, this is actually the time I feed the roaches. I dust them with the Repticalcium. I put them in this cup. where they meet their demise. I think that's enough for now. I'll put some of these in the crested gecko enclosure when they wake up. I know she is. And then I have my leopard gecko in here. Yes, I heard you, my love. It's like Mona's behind you. Yeah, Mona's the name we came up with. Mona Louise Font, which is my last name. She wanted to give her my last name. It's funny. Um, this tank was my bearded dragons tank at one point. Um, Sherma passed away. She was
Mm.
she was probably 10 years old, or if not older when I got her. Um, and she was thought to be a male her entire life, so she never laid eggs, never had a chance. Nobody ever put her in a damper substrate to give her a chance to do that. When I got her, I actually made her a lay box because I seen that she was a female and she was egg bound, or what do you call it? She was holding eggs, but they were old. She never released them, so they were rotten in her. So
Oh.
that's kind of a horrible death. She got real sick in the end, um, and she just one day just died. But I had her for a good, I want to say 4 years, so she lived about 14, if not more.
Oh,
I don't.
sorry, Dragon Lair. I wasn't talking about. Um, sorry if that sounded like I was talking about declawing the cat. I was talking about grooming, taking them in and getting them shaved. No, I
Oh
don't.
yeah,
Yeah, the declawing is very cruel. That's part of their toe. So sorry.
they take that knuckle.
Yep, you're right.
So she's chipped now. I don't know why they didn't bother to chip her if they went that far.
Yeah, it's all
Since
of
she's an
mine are
indoor cat.
coming up for all of my 10. My 5 dogs and cats, as they start their annual stuff in January, 3 of them are already scheduled, teeth cleanings and stuff. They're all getting chipped. Everybody.
This is
Everybody.
a 5 gallon. There's nothing in here. There was a beta. For some reason, my wife called this tank the curse tank. Every beta we've had in this tank has died. So
Wow.
I just grow plants in it.
Yeah.
These are actual plants I got from Stephen P. I've given away so many plants, especially when I did my breakdown. I just gave them away. Just found people that needed plants.
I
That
don't
door.
think the beta is you're doing. I think they're just weak. I can't keep
Yeah,
one.
that's what I was told.
Yeah, I can't keep them alive either.
I know.
They're not the same as what they used to be.
Nope, they're just
Mass
overbred
breed.
and yeah, just
Now,
terrible.
do you feed that tank anything? The dwarf sage looks great, but do you put food in still, or?
There's nothing. It's living off its own cycle. There's snails in here. There's little pods in here. It's even got it just gets light and no water changes. I just top it off. This is actually old Fluval stratum mixed with Eco Complete, like I do all my tanks, and a little piece of Dragonstone and 2 spots, and a little heater, little flat heater. You can see algae is growing on there. There's moss growing up the glass. Some moss there. But yeah, this is taken over completely. I'm thinking about putting some more Dorsage in that other tank because the coolies like to swim inside of that. This tank is my Clarky Eye clown. She's actually hiding back there. The light, I can't turn it on because it's a BioCube. It's probably gonna be more of a pain in the butt for me to turn it on right now than it is. Well, I probably could hit just the power button, right?
I don't have a BioCube. I don't know. I'm watching you, Dragon Lair.
No, I
Dragon
better
Lair
not.
made a
I'm
good
gonna
point.
throw everything off. Mhm.
Dragon Lair made a good point about how the poor keeping, or how the a lot of the betas are kept, shortens their lives. It stresses them out when they're young. And
Hey, girl. Hey, this is my sweet little leopard gecko.
Oh.
She lives under that big old piece of cork bark that goes across there.
Mhm.
I've got the it's some kind of Australian desert sand or whatever over here. It's been in here for a long time. And it's got a little basking spot. She wants to go up there. She doesn't really go up there. Got a heat lamp here. It's hooked up to a actual little heater controller. And then just regular old light over here. And then this is Biodude substrate for arid species. So it's more of a soil mix, sphagnum moss. And she's out for her roaches.
Oh,
She actually, she's chunky. She's always eating. Hey, girl. Oh, she tried to get me. She'll literally crawl out of my hand, hang out with me. I don't want to hold her right now because this one's here. But this is what I usually have her in when she's hanging out with me. I'm sure you've seen these at the reptile shows.
no.
These are a fibered the type of cloth that doesn't stick to their nails. So you can actually have her in here and she'll sleep in here,
Oh,
hang out with you.
wow.
They have ones with straps. They have little tiny ones. They have big ones. You can put squirrels, whatever type of animal you want to in there. But a lady and her daughter were selling them. They make them different designs and stuff for like $20. I was like, you know what? Let me get one. I want to try it with my leopard gecko, and she loves it. Whenever I get her in there, she'll go in there and curl up and just stick her head out and just look at me.
Uh,
It's like she's kind of not wanting to be out yet. Maybe if I show her these. Look, here she comes. She heard that and was like, Yeah, she usually comes out, goes straight for them. Let her be, and then she'll come out. Hey, buddy, watch out. Oh, she's
she's
just
hoping
want
she can
lovins.
get in that plant again.
Oh yeah, she's she's gotten pretty used to us. She's all over the place. There's that 6 line. It'll probably go into hiding. Of course. There's some rock flower gnomes in here too, hidden in random spots. There he is. This is my second 6 line rust in here. The last one died from hermit crabs.
Really?
I don't think it was the hermit crabs. I think they either predated on him while he was sleeping, or he became ill from something. But this one's been living in there for quite some time, no issue. I can't get this guy to turn around for me. I was hoping to show you. He just went through a molt. Homies, I'll just grab a show.
Is that the crab?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I watched his video today too.
So he's gotten massive over the years. This is actually his molt down here. He just went through a molt. He goes into a shell. He'll eat every once in a while, but he'll literally bury his entire molt. And what that feeds is all my little amphipods that are everywhere. I have amphipods and little crustaceans and little starfish, which mostly live inside this right here if you can't see them. You can see their legs sticking out the sides of the circulation pump. They're kind of everywhere. This is powered by a Cam Tidal. I love these things, especially for salt water. I need to get in here and clean this. It's got a lot of salt creep, but I like the fact that it actually catches that surface scum. I do no water changes on this tank for a reason. It's just him in here, And then if I did too much, if I cleaned it too much, a lot of these little nems would hate me.
Yeah.
These are all little mojanos. You got some aptasia in there. I don't care about aptasia as long as they're not killing my corals.
I know.
This
I like
devil's
it.
ham,
They grow
yeah,
easy.
they're nem. They're cool when they eat. I just
Yeah.
got amphipods all over the glass. Mysid shrimps in here. Let's see if we can catch one moving around. They never stop moving. There you go. These guys never stop moving. Those are mysid shrimp. That's what you would normally feed fish that are frozen foods. You got amphipods in here. You get snails. There's a better shot of those legs of the starfish.
Now, did they just start growing organically, or did you have to seed them somehow?
I seeded them. Actually, what's funny is our Petco locally, they are one of those random like special Petcos that do specialize in coral
Oh, wow.
and saltwater. There he is.
Oh my God, look at that. Yeah.
He's bright red.
He's so cute. Oh my God.
He is. So he's one of those little tiny ones you get from Petco and don't realize it turns into this monster. This thing, when he comes all the way out of the shell, he's the size of my hand.
Wow.
And he actually moves these rocks around. He knocks this one in the glass all the time. I always worry it's going to crack, but he never does. And sometimes he'll climb up on the pumps up here and try to climb out. So I put this up here. And this is
Wow.
also where I put all my tools.
Rick,
And
I
then
had those and I bought it when it was pretty big already, but it kept growing and I could
oh
never
yeah.
find shells big enough, for it to, and actually, Jess Shrimp Granny sent me 2 big shells. So if you get to a point you can't have trouble, of course you're by the ocean, but if you can't find shells, I have a couple of big ones that she sent. He used them before he died, but I had him maybe 3 years, but he was big when I got him.
This is a blue algae.
Beautiful.
Just finally got it to start growing. When I stop doing water changes, there's gorgonians down there in the bottom. Just randomly rocks knocked over top of them. They'll grow. They'll stay alive. They can take the abuse. So I found that the moonshell snails is what he's in. I have to get one bigger because he's actually just molting and he's bigger. He was barely fitting in there when maybe 3 months ago. This is the second molt since he flew
Yep.
into the shell.
Have you seen him switch shells? That's really cool.
I have.
Yeah.
So he's switched between all these shells that are in here. I leave the shells in here.
Yeah.
Because the pods live inside the shells. And whenever I want to give somebody pods for their tank, I just take one of these shells out and I keep it full of water until I lift it out of the tank, and then I fill these up.
Oh, yeah.
And they have pods to seed their tank without anything else. I mean, I have shells, but these ones would crack the glass.
Yeah, that's what I've got. That's what she had to send me. Like the extreme one on the right, I've got a couple, maybe a little bigger than that. And he would.
Oh, yeah.
It's plexiglass though. His tank it's a native tank now. Yeah. And
Yeah, he would tap the corner.
I was thinking about cutting off the corners in that point, but I never had
But
to do it.
you could, yeah, because that's actually just a ridge. It's not an actual indent inside the shell,
Yeah, just
so
a
it wouldn't
grandma.
damage it. I
He's
have
fat.
one. I might try it because that's bigger than the one he's got. These are some dead corals.
Pretty.
Yeah, this one was the big one. It sucks when they die. Yeah, just all my supplies. I have so many supplies just collecting from throughout the year. A little Florida thing. These are all my plants that I've collected. These are strange little types of plants that I've collected over the time. This is actually a ficus. This one's died and it's coming back. Another ficus, Aubrey. It's this one's died, but it's starting to come back. So I'm big on the plants. Those are my springtail cultures up there.
Oh wow! How do
Um,
you reach them?
I have a step ladder.
A little separate.
Yeah, oh yeah, those things come in handy. This is my RO bucket. These are all the jugs that I fill up. So what I do is I top off my water on a daily instead of relying on a RO like an ATO. Each one of my tanks take one of these jugs every day, 1 gallon jug, and this is for the actual ATO for the saltwater because without stability, this saltwater tank would definitely have issues.
Yeah.
I just have a 5 gallon bucket and ATO in there. It's got a little connector and the hose right in front of the pump there. It puts fresh water in there when it needs. This is Grandpa, the Starry Night.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see him till he, yeah.
Yeah, he's looks like an old man. That's what I call him, Grandpa. There's that mandarin.
It's a nice mandarin.
There's that male, and then I got they're both aquacultured, the male and female, and they swim together, they sleep together, they do their little dance.
What are those labels on the front of the tank down there? I'm just
Those
curious.
are,
Oh, stickers. Okay.
yeah, vibes, fish corals,
Cool.
Tennessee
Tennessee
fish mafia,
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazonas. I got that from my brain. Who did I get that from? We'll come back to that. New local Austin.
Yeah.
Deep blue. This is whenever I go to my little coral shows or reptile shows. The Nautilus, PMWs. I got so many things from PMW. A friend of mine is buddies with them, and he lives up this way. He's always at the shops over here. Um, this is the Spokane Coeur d'Alene Crime Society I'm part of. We have our own like freshwater group up here too.
Been a pet.
Algae Barn. Yeah, so Benefits are one of my favorite reef food, like dry food to go to.
Oh, does that have like a patent on it or anything?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
always looking for something new to use with the furry pets.
Oh, you mean like the towels?
Well, no, like for the dogs and cats, but like a slant would be like the health benefits of having a cat or a dog, and call it been a pet adoptions today or something like just anything to make it different or interesting.
Yeah, this is Benepets. I actually won this food off of Tyann, Tank Talk with Tyann's channel.
Very nice.
I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. She's
Yeah.
down in Texas.
Yeah.
And she just had a bunch of giveaways recently. Um, this was one of my things that I won, the $100 gift card, and I ended up spending extra money to get more because I love their food there. And this is like my third bag, I'd say. They got pretty cool stickers. I'm always a big fan of stickers. And then I got vibes again here on both sides. Because, you know, who doesn't like full vibes? And then you got Stephen P here. PNW. I don't have everybody's stickers though. I need more stickers from my tank. Oh, that guy again. Yeah. And then I collect things. This is actually from Ed.
Oh, cool.
Remember when he made those?
Yeah.
Got them all around here.
He and
Little
Steve
shark.
have that in common. They're very crafty.
Oh yeah, and I like finding stuff like this at the thrift store. That's actually a really unique. I thought,
The colors on that are fantastic.
right? And then you got this. I just found at the thrift store. Yeah, just unique stuff. I'm always collecting unique stuff. I have fish tanks everywhere too, as you can see. Remember, I had like 14 freshwater tanks at one point. It was a lot. It was a lot of work. In between everything else I was doing, I was taking care of my isopods and reptiles, and that becomes. I didn't want it to feel like work.
Yep.
This is a hobby. I don't want it to feel like work. So I up I just upped the size of my tanks that I wanted to keep and kept whatever I wanted to keep and gave away whatever I didn't.
I'm going to
This
bring you
guy,
back.
huh?
I was saying I'm going to bring you back up.
Okay.
See if anybody has any questions or anything.
I think Susie's sleeping.
I'm
Is
not.
she?
Almost. It's very close.
She
I've
was.
been asking questions as we go along.
Yeah, when I got home went up to meet up with that puppy or to get that dog, and then I called her, but she wasn't coming, so I grabbed some groceries and came home. Fortunately, it's cold. I fell asleep in the garage with the truck turned off, and I dropped my phone. Is what finally woke me up. I'm like, dang, I need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
This one just molted.
Skipper, you take care of what you had to take care of?
Skipper had to step away, putting the
This
kids
little
to
guy
bed.
just. Yeah, tarantulas are my new little thing that I like.
I was
They
kind
They
of
are.
interested in them, and then I heard they can sling hairs at you out of their legs.
Oh yes,
I'm not sure
this
about
one's
that.
this one's a burrowing species. It's a bright orange or gold. The gold MC. Sorry. Oh,
It's okay.
ouch. Ooh,
So
This
when you move, are you going to have room to have more tanks, or I know you're going to have a library. I see that in your near future.
not necessary. Yeah, not necessarily new tanks. I'll have new tanks, but I'll end up going with bigger size tanks. I'm just gonna do this. And yeah, I'll go with bigger size tanks. I want to have more room for my fish and my coral and plants and stuff to grow. Front camera. There we go. Still figuring this out. There we go.
I don't know. I
I'm
was
just gonna
looking
sit
at
down.
some older pictures, and I really like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my fish room in the basement, but I really loved when all my fish tanks and my jungles and my plants were incorporated into my living space. I really like
Yeah,
that. I miss that.
same here.
I feel
All
like
mine are
I get
one room.
exiled from my house to come down here, even though I enjoy it.
Oh,
It's
you're
like,
separate,
yeah,
like not even in the house
yeah,
with it. Oh, yeah, that's I don't know. I thought about doing because we have a garage we're moving, and
Mm.
it's it's not a finished garage. It's just a car garage. And my landlord, we're gonna be renting, but my landlord is actually the Coral Reef Club. Her and her wife were the owners of the Reef Club that we're part of, and they said I could do whatever I want to as long as I keep it nice,
wow,
as long as I keep it better than what it's at, the shape it's in now.
yeah,
We have a lot of work to do. I have history in construction and remodeling and all that, so I'm going to go in and help them clean out everything and get it all the way I want it. They said you could paint it, you could do whatever you want, you can do sheetrock, you could change stuff, change your rooms around, turn the garage into an actual working space. Um, I could do electrical and all that stuff. So it's one of those things. And then it'll have a bigger backyard. I can actually do raised gardens in the backyard.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
have to learn how to garden here though, because we have the 4 seasons, and then you're kind of limited there. Different types of things here versus Florida. Um, the 4 seasons. This has been a weird year. We've had mostly rain all week, this week and last week,
Are
and the
you in
next week
Pennsylvania?
quite rain. Spokane,
Where are you?
Washington.
Oh,
So Eastern Washington, we normally get a lot of snow. Not that much, but we normally get more snow than what we've gotten so far. We've gotten 2 days of snow. So lots of rain. It's raining right now. It's like 40 degrees. This time of year it's usually cold. They're trying to say it's the El Nino or something.
Mm.
Is
I wonder if
that area a rainforest?
no, this is actually where we're at right now is high desert.
Okay.
So it's
wow.
kind of like mountainous, but it's desert, like it's dry.
No, you're more inland then. Okay.
Yeah. So lots of I love the coast out here though. Going over to see Ian and everybody. Um, that area over there is just gorgeous. I would love to live over there. Um, it just would be hard for me to move all the way over there since I don't know anybody. Actually have any family up this way. All my family are down in Florida. We have nobody here.
Oh,
So I moved up here when family was up here, some family, my father and everybody, and then they moved away after about 4 years. They decided to move to Arkansas, of all places.
What a nice thing to do.
Yeah, they've never been to Arkansas. They were like, "We're going to Arkansas." I'm like, "Okay, have fun.
That's
Miss
worse.
ya."
Hey.
Yeah, yeah. That's I'd rather I'd rather be here or Florida. That's it. No.
How's Ethan
Uh,
doing?
Who?
Ethan?
Ian.
Ian, I'm sorry.
Ian Atkins.
I know that. I know who
I
he is.
actually,
Yeah. Do you know he
uh,
did his very first live on this stream? That's where he did his very first.
oh yes,
He was so
yes.
super shy. So how's he doing?
Everyone, he's probably been busy. He's got that dog, and then I think he's been busy because he's said, "I'm sorry, I've been busy with a lot of things." Usually he would talk to me, but I understand it. It's life comes first.
Yeah.
Um, so I think he's been busy with a lot of things. Hopefully
Good.
everything's all good. As far as I
Yeah.
know, he's got a dog. I mean, that's a nice thing.
He's a good guy.
Oh yes, he's been amazing. Between seeing him and Coro and Rachel, was it last year? Last year at the Coral show, I had a great time. Um, and then I'd seen some other friends out that way they're actually from here. They went out that way to go to the same show. Um, I'm hoping to go out there for the freshwater show more than anything this coming year, because I miss that every time. It's Fishtoberfest is what they always say. Fishtoberfest.
Been there. It's
And
awesome.
yeah, I heard it's getting bigger and bigger every time.
And if you can meet Daniken and
I
them,
haven't had a chance. I want to.
and if they can if you can get to their fish house. Oh man,
Yeah, the fish house. So many tanks.
I need to go down Tennessee and break into somebody else's fish house. That's the only way I'm going to be able to see it.
Dude. Yeah.
I only have like 22 tanks now with fish in them, so it's not.
but if you go fish and reptile aquarium tank
Yeah.
enclosures, how many?
I went down from 84 to 20.
You just converted them into snake tanks.
You're right.
Yeah. See, life will make you change everything up if you find not enough time for other things. I just found I wasn't spending enough time, outdoors. This whole everything I was doing was consuming every bit of my time,
Yeah.
like to where I was too tired to even do YouTube anymore. Every once in a while I get on YouTube, but I usually watch YouTube to learn something, or if
Right.
it's, a friend invites me, come check this out. For me, that's why I've been so absent from everybody's YouTube. I just been every once in a while I'll click in. I'm like doing something. I need to listen to something or hear somebody. I'll click in, say hey, and then I kind of don't say anything, and I feel kind of rude about it. But yeah, I'm there listening. But
But that's how it
um,
seems to go. Like for a lot of
yeah,
people, unless you stay in the fish fam, like and aren't making
yeah,
videos and stuff, it's really hard to stay on top of.
Yeah.
it is. And I don't make that many. I haven't made a video in a while. I just I've been just kind of enjoying the hobby more than anything. Just actually taking what I have here and just soaking it in, enjoying it, figuring out what I do wrong, what can I change, with what I have. Um, I think when I move into this house, we're gonna have a basement floor, which will be the master bedroom slash fish tank room.
Nice.
And I want to have two massive tanks, a saltwater and a freshwater tank. I'm gonna keep this guy in a 40 breather, or I might upgrade him to a 60 breeder, the hermit crab. That 60 breeder might turn into his hermit crab tank, and basically create one giant planted tank, a really nice, you know, ecoscape. My wife's doing the whole.
That's what I want.
um,
An aquascape tank that grows out up the wall. Like I want the whole thing. Just got to
like an
figure out
aquatic
how to put,
jungle.
yeah, how to protect the wall first,
Oh yes,
and then build
yes.
onto it. Anyway, that's a
You
dream.
have a you have a post office box, right, Rick?
I do, I do.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to send you a couple of aquatic art pieces from other
Cool,
people. I mean, they're not mine. I mean, they are mine, but I bought them. So, but anyway,
nice,
send you a couple of pieces.
cool, cool. Thank you. Um, yeah, no, that tank, I want to make it. I want to have a big tank that I can have these fish in, to where they have all the room they want to swim around in, and to do one of these saltwater tanks with just much like more space for these corals to actually spread out, stretch out, and be happy.
Nice.
And I want it to be bigger and have more lighting and have a more variety of fish, and actually have a tank with a sump and not all this hang on back. This works. Don't get me wrong. This works perfect, but it's not. I find having a sump it would improve my life as far as like keeping things clean, because you just everything's there.
Hmm.
You just clean the glass. I mean, I haven't done water change on this tank because, like I said, the pH. So whenever I change water, it just takes a toll. For some reason, it takes a toll on my corals. I don't know if it's the salt. I use the reef crystals. I've been using that since I started, but it takes a toll on my tank. So what I do now is I take my Hannah egg checkers and I test my water, and I just measure out what I need after I use a app calculator that tells me what I need. I put my alkaline and my calcium and magnesium to keep them
Oh, amazing.
stable,
High
and I
tech.
put trace elements. So basically, there's an app on your phone. You test your parameters, you set it for what you want, and it tells you exactly in milliliters what you need to add, and you can pick whichever supplement you're using. I think you can. There's probably things for like freshwater tanks, if I'm not mistaken. There's probably stuff for freshwater tanks if you're doing like the high tech planet tanks.
Do you know
As
who
far
makes
as
that?
who,
That do you know?
what is it? Oh, the app. Oh, that's. Oh, it's on my phone. I'll have to send you a link.
Okay.
If you look up alkalinity dosing calculator, it actually has all that stuff in it. It's got like a little blue emblem.
Okay.
I would have to literally close out my phone to look at it.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't be pushing buttons unless you're ready.
right?
Oh, I'm trying. I
Gosh.
see. I hate to say this, guys,
Alkalinity
but I gotta
dosing.
run. I'm sorry.
Okay, take it
Susie, good
easy.
night.
Hi,
Thank
Susie.
Great stream. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Yeah,
We're,
alkalinity dosing calculator. Go
we're
ahead,
going
sorry.
a little bit longer because Danikin's not streaming on Sunday nights now, and I haven't
Cool.
heard that someone's taken that slot. So if
Well,
they
he's his last one's next Sunday for this year, and then they're done. I believe.
Oh. Well,
A football
been,
stream?
somebody's been posting no stream tonight. Maybe it's just tonight, but the last
No, yeah,
two happened.
he's
Gotcha.
skipping a night, and then next week he's gonna do his last one.
Gotcha. I rely on you guys to keep me up on these things.
I just I saw
Yeah.
a community post that he did.
He's not feeling good. They're both sick.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
he said.
yeah, there's been stuff going around. We're actually going back to masking at work. It's highly recommended, not really. It's one of those for patient care. If we go into patient care areas, we have to wear a mask.
You're in a medical scenario that, yeah.
Unfortunately for us, is we constantly are wrestling and battling with people that are aggressive or combative, because I'm part of the security team.
You
And
and Gifford have similar type jobs. I mean,
yeah, you deal with it too. Having to
Like
strap
my
in psych patients.
my daughter got kicked in the face not too long ago.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure glad I live 7 hours away because
well,
that patient
Yeah,
would have need more work done.
Oh yeah. Good girl. Oh, hey girl. Hello. She came in here to say hey.
she's beautiful.
Baby. Cheers. I won't hold her too long.
We're in no rush, and if anybody needs to leave, go ahead and go, of course. But any other questions or anything else you want to elaborate on, or?
I missed most of it because I was cooking dinner still.
Oh, well, can you start over, Rick?
Actually, the Mandarin's out right now. You want to see it?
Yeah,
It's up to the glass.
Rick Fish.
Let's see. How do I do this? Pushing buttons. Beware.
This is how I ended my stream the other day. Trying to flip my phone.
Jeez.
I've
Okay,
ended a
let's see if
couple.
we catch it before it leaves. Bam. Like I've done that before.
Here, let me blow you up.
Actually, just went behind this thing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Boy, that's a nice close-up of the coral there.
That's some pallies. There he is. Just hanging out, catching some.
Peeping around. There he is.
And now he's going this way. That's the female.
Oh, it is. I started as because I didn't see a big.
The spine that sticks up the top. Yeah, she's tinier than him. And there's Grandpa again. And the chalk bass that likes to go in front of the camera every time. There he is. And they're swimming together right there.
Beautiful.
They're doing their thing. Scavenging for pods. So that's one other thing is I don't have fish in that tank with the hermit crab. So he doesn't eat the pods. So I literally take my pods from out of here and I dose them into this tank.
Ah,
And how I keep this tank fed over here for the pods, I don't have Phyto. So I use organic spirulina powder. I put a half a teaspoon in there, or a quarter teaspoon. I dump it in there and I mix it up, and it just dissolves into the water, and they eat it. And they also eat whatever leftover food, or you can put, because they're cannibalistic, I actually put calamus in there. This stuff stinks really bad. It is a shrimpy, funky smelling. It's just terrible. Another thing I dose is potassium iodine. Iodide for this guy, because they do use up iodide for their shells, for their, not their shell, but their exoskeleton to build.
Yeah.
Copepod powder. I put that in there. They eat that. Chlorella flakes. This is what I used to use for the Aptasia. If you ever want to get rid of your Aptasia, this stuff works wonders. It's Frank's Aptasia, F Aptasia. Ian kept trying to tell me to use it. I kept saying, oh, no, I don't want to put stuff in my tank. I used it, and I'm happy with it. But then again, I don't worry about this tank. It doesn't have that many corals that would get stung by it. But this tank, I have used it in, and there has been no Aptasia in here for a long time.
Didn't you used
Let's
to
see
have
if I can get it closer.
shrimp? I'm just trying to remember.
Shrimp?
A
I
mantis.
did. No, I didn't have a mantis shrimp. I did have peppermint shrimps in here,
Okay.
and the peppermint shrimp ate the Aptasia.
I had my mantis, and I had him several months, and he was just a lot of very, like the third or fourth shed he had. It was a bad shed, and his legs were deformed and stuff. And it wasn't because I wasn't, giving him what he needed and to, make a, decent exoskeleton and all that. It happens apparently sometimes. Oops. Talking about turtles.
Oh, a turtle.
Skipper, what kind of turtle?
I can't speak of a couple of them. I just found out.
Oh, okay. I saw Dean.
There's the bird.
Dean, oh yeah, has some baby turtles, and he actually asked me. He tagged me in Dan's stream and said, "How did he get rid of them?" And I said, "Oh my God, you could put them on, Dan's store, or I'm sure people would, want them." And I said, "I'd love to have a couple of the babies. Forget which ones they were, but."
Oh, yeah.
Somebody referred him in the chat to somebody that does turtles. So.
I had rescued them, and I don't think that person knew what we were allowed to have here in Pennsylvania. It ain't nothing real exotic. It's just one of them.
Invasive.
There's two of them that are native here, and you're not allowed to keep them.
This is what
Whoa.
you need right here is an old parrot to love on your ear and your neck.
Oh, gosh. Take my AirPod out.
Yeah, he knows
There's
it's on.
actually crustaceans living on his shell. Those little amphipods
Oh,
live
that's
inside
cool.
it.
Oh, sorry.
Pretty cool.
There's tons of babies. Yeah,
That is
saltwater,
pretty
it's
cool.
got lots more weird little critters that you don't see in freshwater.
Yeah, dwarf mud turtles. I think I'm going to do that thing that Father Fish says to do. I saw somebody that did something similar to that, just got a jar and went out a good sized jar and pickle jar or something and scoop up some of the mud and some of the water and just set it in a window and where it doesn't get real hot or real cold and just leave it there. And all of the life that comes out of that, and it kind of just cycles itself and maintains itself, close it up, I think I'll try.
Resurrection jar, I think he calls it.
Yes, yeah, that's it. You're right.
Oh.
I think I'll try that just for the heck of it.
Well, I think I'm gonna roll too. So Just want to say, good to meet you finally, Rick, and hopefully you get more time
Well,
so you can get into the streams a little longer or a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to. That and I feel like I lost touch.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling.
Well, why don't we
And then
plan on doing a part 2 after the first of the year? And if you'd like, and maybe do something, a topic you'd like a focus thing, or that I can get with you on that. I'm going to send you some art, so we'll be talking anyway.
Maybe, yeah, before I move.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
All
gonna
right.
be consuming a lot of my beginning
Right.
of my year there, that
Oh,
whole
yeah.
move.
Okay. Well, if you're
And
going to have to go whip, I'll probably just close down because we've been going an
Yeah.
hour and a half. So.
this is a great stream. And
And
my wife wants to go see some lights today, so
tell Kayla she's always so nice to share you with us. So tell her I said
yeah,
thank you. All right.
I will.
Thank you so much, Rick.
Thank
Always
you guys.
fascinating as always. Very interesting.
Have a great night.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks,
You too.
everybody in the stream. Good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.